Gabby's Breaking Waves podcast, Music Man Dan, and I'm here with DeVaughn.
Hello, episode 13.
The
coming
daddy
at ya.
of disco, and we have a super special guest.
We do. We have a BetaWave favorite in the house.
Huge LA artist, huge national artist, let's be honest, huge world artist.
Oh my gosh.
They are amazing. We can't get enough of them.
Doing big things in the world.
Huge things.
Popping
and we
up on
cannot
your
wait
TikTok,
for this
popping
next
up.
year of yes. But enough with the drum rolls. BIIANCO! Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh. So you just did a little shooting here at BetaWave Studios.
I did.
That we could all witness very soon.
Yes.
And we decided to stick you around a little longer and talk to us for a little bit.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, it's nice getting to just sit down and chat with you. I mean, if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, which you should be subscribed.
Yes.
If you are, you've seen Gabby's face pop up a couple times because you're a Moonrise alum with us.
I'm a kid who goes to Moonrise.
Yeah, you killed it on your DJ
You
set.
crazy
this past,
kids, you.
This past Moonrise, you killed it on your DJ set. So
Thanks.
fun, and you performed on the live stream one with us too. So we love having you around here at the studio.
I like being around.
Yeah.
I'm always curious, and this is something that I just want. We're jumping right into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, you just came up with an album, the Mixtape number 2.
Yep.
And I listened through it all last night. Just binged the whole entire thing. Listened like 3 times. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What helps you write a sad song, a love song, a hate? Is it connected to one of those experiences? Like what is it that helps you write these great tunes?
Heartbreak, I guess. I got my heart absolutely obliterated.
It's always heartbreak. DeVaughn, we were just talking about this. It's always heartbreak writes the best music. Why
Yeah.
is that?
I don't know. I guess I just write songs for you to ugly cry to.
Do you feel like it's like the most? Do you think that like heartbreak is like the most visceral of emotions, maybe, or it's one of the most
Yeah.
visceral emotions?
Well, I think that people who carry the trauma of previous heartbreaks or like childhood heartbreaks with them, like allow themselves, we tend to be a little bit more vulnerable to get the worst types of heartbreaks in like later years. It's like we like just keep putting another thing in our sack that we're carrying with us. So
Yeah.
I think that like sometimes it's like the combination of everything and the wave comes back, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, and not even just heartbreak. I think you learn so much from relationships, like in general, and not even just like romantic relationships, just like any relationship you make in general. But in like a romantic sense, like I had this idea that I want to do a book, and like each chapter is like what I learned from like a specific relationship, like whether it be good or bad.
Relationship for dummies. Yeah, it'd be perfect.
I want to call it lessons in love. That's what
Lessons
we
in
call
love.
it.
Now that's gonna fly off the shelves.
So
That's
your
what we
book
call it.
sounds
Like
a
you're-
lot less heavy than my book, which came out last year,
Yeah.
which is called This Will Wreck Your Heart.
Which I have a copy of. I love. I've read it multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay, hello. That's the next thing I'm reading on the plane. I love this. Okay, more material.
It's called This Will Wreck Your Heart, and it's a book of poems that I wrote, and each one is filed
beautiful.
into a different chapter of trauma, basically. So there's like the love or denial is chapter 1. Then there's grief. Then there's rage, and then there's rebirth.
Yeah.
But it's
Awesome.
it's a series of poems.
And I like how you, there's parallels between the poem book and then mixtape number 2. Like
Yeah.
in the structure of it, in mixtape number 2, you have like interludes where you're doing more spoken word poetry, which I love. I
Yeah.
wish you would do the whole book. You should record an audio version of the whole book.
Thank you.
Yeah, but and so like when you do that with the way that you did it with the book and did with the mixtape, like what makes you like to kind of break your work down like into these like different structures?
I was living it. Honestly, I got my heart absolutely pummeled, and then I had to really sit with the aftermath of it and like, why did I fall in love with barbed wire? why. Like, I had to look at, like, the skyscraper I had built. I think we called it an empire of bad love. So it was like I was going through each of the stages that that book was broken down into and that the mixtape was broken down into. And a lot of the time, like, the songs were written in a linear fashion, but sometimes I feel like I would, like, be in rebirth and pop back to grief and write, like, a grief song, like, kind of
because that's
out
how
of order.
emotions work. You know,
Yeah.
You're just swinging back and forth.
So honestly, there was no greater concept when I started making the material. It was honestly just like what was happening in real time, and then it made sense afterwards. It made sense as a body of work after it was done.
A cohesive bit, yeah. Does writing these songs, making the book, doing this, does that help with healing? With
I get, yeah.
a little bit. That's what I would think. I usually just get a dumpster, light everything on fire that reminds you of that person, and then I walk on. But I feel like writing a whole album, not a whole album, but like some songs, some of these poems, like I feel like that would be healing in a way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like we were just talking, you know, before we were recording, like on like what like, you know, triggers you to like kind of feel some of these emotions, you know, whether it be like me, like I watch sad movies when I feel like I need to watch them, or like I imagine that's how it is for you when it's writing, you know, when you need something to be able to do with all these emotions. Like, when's the last time you had a good cry, Gab?
Last night.
Last night.
I
Yeah.
need a new cry. I need to cry. I haven't cried in a minute. I need to cry.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
so
didn't
happy
hit it.
all the time. I
I
just don't
couldn't
want
stop. I couldn't stop. I was actually sitting in a restaurant in Highland Park, and I was like, I think I need to get out of here.
to. Oh, what
'cause I can't
restaurant was it?
It was Otonio.
I cry every time the
Love
food's
it.
so good.
It's-
yeah, but maybe different tears.
So
Yeah.
It was
good.
like, I can't even make it past the appetizer.
I know.
It's so good.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know what's happening. I was crying.
I had one like a couple weeks ago. I was real nice, or not a couple weeks ago. It was like a week and a half ago, and I felt it. Like, you know, when you feel it building up in you, and you're just like,
tummy,
come on,
yes.
like get it out, and just like I knew I needed to cry, and it just couldn't. And I like watched a movie, and it ended up Waves. It came out in 2019, and it was like, it related like so hard to like it was like the first time I'd like kind of seen my personal life like in a movie,
Wow.
like reflected, and like it was like just so perfect. I got to the end and I just like literally sat back in the couch and just went, oh, and just let it and just flowed out, and it just felt nice. I was like, oh, I needed that.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, last night, it was one of those where it was like, just so stuck here.
Right.
And then I had to let it
The
out.
tonsils, and you got to get a good cry out. Sticking with mixtape number 2 real quick, Tarot was a big part of making this album, right? And like, you have a really cool on your website. Everyone check out bianco.com. You have interactive game. You have like all this amazing art, all this stuff. Like, what part did Tarot have in helping you build this last interactive entertainment?
Man, well, tarot is a part of my life in general. Like, I tend to use it.
Sorry to
every
interrupt.
day.
You can also get a reading from
Yeah.
Gabriella off the website. So please check her out.
Yeah.
She's an amazing reader.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I built a website, well, because tarot was such an important part of like my life and especially when I was making the mixtape, that like I built this website where you can pull a card and then it gives you a tailored Spotify playlist to what your reading was.
Oh, that's cool.
And
dude.
I hand wrote all of the descriptions of
Oh
the
my
cards.
I
It took a
love
very
that.
long time, yeah.
So this is real people. She did real work into this. It is heartfelt. It's meaningful. So that's great for you to share that with people.
And there was also a game, yeah. Instead of making a music video, we made like similar to the Black Mirror
Have you seen
episode.
she beats a bunch of zombies.
Yeah,
to death.
yeah,
It's,
no,
it's,
it's
I don't
Or
know, I
they
don't wanna
beat
give away the
you.
ending.
Or they beat you. It's kind of
Yes.
like one of those.
I died a couple times, then I realized you just need to kill everyone.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
how you
much.
get through.
Never get back together with your ex is what the moral of the story is.
Some people need this interactive game. Stop with your ex, kill them in this video game, and then move on with your
Yeah,
life.
there's zombies in the video game. Actually, the fun fact is that it just won an Interactive Media Award for
That's
outstanding
amazing.
achievement.
Whoa. Is this Breaking Waves exclusive? Do we find out about
Yes.
this? Brum, brum, brum.
I found out
Yes,
like
we got
5
'em.
days ago. Yeah, we won
Oh,
the
congrats.
Outstanding
That's
Achievement
amazing.
Award. Yeah, and basically the phrases that the zombie X's say in the video game were real things that were said to each of the actors.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, I love that, and I love how, like, you know, multimedia, like your whole artistry is like, you know, it isn't just about making the music. Like, it's like you're doing the music, you're making an interactive game with it. You do lots of all the visuals, you know, like, you know, all feel like very distinct. How do you like kind of organize all these thoughts, like when you're working on one project and then you're like, okay, I have a music video idea for it, or I could do this, or like, how do you balance all
You've
these?
gone
like,
the extra mile. It's
multimedia-
amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks. I honestly, in the moment, sometimes I'm kind of like over music videos at the moment. I feel like if it's not bending the expectations, it's not worth the time. Like a
It's a
traditional narrative.
lot of work. It's crazy.
Well,
yeah.
I want to like shoot like fully immersive ones or like video games or
the
like
360 one
the
you did,
360
yeah.
one we did, which was fucking insane because literally it had to get like they set up a 360 camera and then I had to everyone hid. And I literally battled the ocean, like in real life, like.
That's so
and if I had
cool.
drowned, like I was like, what would have
If you drowned, you would have drowned. That's
yeah,
it.
like
yeah.
they wouldn't have even known I was drowning. They just had to like wait with the. I guess they had the monitor, but I'm like, would they
Yeah.
have cut the shot? I don't
No,
know.
it probably was
No, they would be like,
keep
keep
rolling.
rolling.
Yeah,
You're
keep
we gotta
rolling.
keep this. She'll be fine.
It's what Gab would have wanted.
Yeah. Exactly. So, like even so I feel like now I'm just trying to I'm like constantly mining media for new ideas of like how I can do things out of the ordinary, out of the expectations, you know. But like I guess it's funny. When I think about a larger project, it's that sort of just comes together like a larger body of work because I'm writing like so stream of consciousness from what I'm feeling at the time and also what my collaborators are feeling because there's a lot of collaboration that goes into it. But like song by song, yeah, usually I can kind of see almost like a synesthesia, like visually what world it's living in.
And like, and you kind of like just can see like, okay, this is what is needed for this track. So then I'm gonna kind of go that way. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're getting back into live performance world, post-pandemic. Yeah. So I feel like I'm constantly, when I'm making songs, thinking about the performance aspect. And now, because my new music is a lot more dance-oriented, it's very heavy in dance music.
Not as much ugly crying anymore.
Oh, no, you're
But
just going to
you
do it
can
on the dance floor.
And ugly cry. Yeah. It's a
Exactly.
combo
You're just gonna
now.
slip in tears on the
Yeah.
dance
I'm
floor.
gonna pretty cry because I love the music so gosh darn
Yeah,
much.
no, you're going to ugly cry, trust me.
Okay, perfect.
But I like actually when I'm producing a track, I have to think about what the like club mix is and what the radio edit is. So like all the new material that I'm working on will all have like the extended club mixes
Hells
that
yeah.
DJs can use and that I will be using for my DJ sets, as well as like the radio edit. And then my live performances tend to be more on the radio edit side.
And we can catch you soon at the Lodge Room.
Yes.
Right? When is that happening?
I'm playing the Lodge Room with some incredible artists. It's a very electronic dance music oriented night. It's April 26th.
Hells yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, get your ticks, people. I'll be there. Ugly
Oh, yeah.
cry in the
We'll-
front
we'll
row.
definitely be there.
Yeah,
great
and
venue,
dancing.
too.
Don't forget to
Yeah,
dance.
I'm gonna dance. I don't want to slip on my own tears and then fall over.
Yeah.
You know, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm
You
gonna.
can slip
I'm gonna
on
be
my
crying.
tears.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a date.
So you said this this new mixtape is a little dancier, and
Oh my god,
and-
there's
and I-
another mixtape coming.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yes.
coming. It is
Yeah.
coming. And because I remember I asked you on Instagram one time because this previous one was mixtape number 2. So this upcoming one, is this mixtape number 1, or is that going to be the one that's going to be like
Oh, no.
later? And this is number 3 now.
Mixtape number 1 is the Lost album, I guess.
The Lost
It's gonna be
album.
mixtape number 3.
Okay.
And it is. I've been playing a lot with samples. Finding samples from like all eras. It's very because I'm DJing a lot more now. I'm like
Yeah.
a resident DJ on Van's Channel 66, and I've been like doing a lot of DJing. So it's a lot. It's definitely heavy in the 120 BPM like house music
In that
world.
sweet spot. Beautiful.
I feel like you should just never like I mean not never but just keep building up this mythos of mixtape number one. Just be like, oh yeah, no, there's this one, like keep like mentioning it to
Yeah.
Like Avengers, like it's gonna be some big bad guy, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like the dance album of the summer.
Yeah.
it's just this unsolved you should do like what if it was you did like a found footage like documentary about
On
like
vi- on
finding
Mixtape Number
finding
One.
mixtape number one.
Yeah.
Maddie, please scrub this so no one
Yes,
steals the idea
please,
because this is
yeah.
amazing.
No
Okay,
one goes and
yes.
looks for. We're gonna have. It'll be like Archive 86.
Yeah, Archive 81, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, scary.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but not scary. Dancing and ugly, cry-y.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect. When is that? Do we know have a release date yet for mixtape number 3?
We have we know that the single, the first single off of it, and music video is a collaboration with my good friend Moons.
Hells yeah.
Fun fact: we have the same birthday, March
What?
25th. Yeah,
Oh.
it was
Oh my
so
God.
random. We were in the studio writing this song, and I was like, "When's your birthday, by the way?" And she's like, "March 25th." I'm like, "Stop."
I love finding a birthday twin. Isn't it the funnest thing?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's a checkout, a best
Yeah.
friend, whatever. Like,
Right.
it's fun finding a
It's
twin
great.
birthday.
So, that we have a video, and that single called "Pray to You" drops at the end of March.
Pray to
So
you, dropping at the end of March. A lot of fun stuff to look forward
Yeah,
to.
I get to play bass when I play it live, so it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fun.
I saw you've been playing bass.
Yeah.
now. That's exciting stuff.
It's been really
cool.
fun.
Slap it.
That's a new one you've picked up in the last couple of months?
So the music video is it's crazy. It's like continuously shot one take. Video live performance of it where we played like 9 instruments. But I was like, man, the bass line for this is so funky. It'd be so much fun to play bass on. But there was only one problem. I didn't know how to play bass.
Oh, no.
So I learned in a week.
Hells yeah.
I learned how to, and now I play bass every day. I'm just like, God, it's so much fun. But I played guitar. I just had never.
I also played a little bass
Yeah.
in youth group as well. So
Yeah.
I know
I
how to
didn't
slap
know
bass
this
around.
about
Yeah,
you,
so it
Nice.
is fun to lay down a fat beat.
Yeah.
I feel you there.
Groove.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, a groove. I
Yeah.
haven't played in a while. It's been a minute.
Can work with Maddie in the shadows. He knows how to tear up that bass.
Oh,
back
that's
there.
true.
He
Slap
slap-
that.
We got a lot of bass slappers in the
Yeah, we
studio
do.
right now.
Yeah, seriously. What was the first instrument that you learned to play?
Piano. I was 5.
Piano 5, and this was in New York, right?
Yeah. I was yes, I was in New York at the time. So the first instrument. I'm a classically trained pianist.
Oh, cool.
But that was the first instrument I learned how to play, and then I was singing, I guess, the whole time. And then in middle
if you're
school,
playing, you might as well belt out some tunes, right? Yeah.
And then it was guitar. So this is the first time I played bass, but I know how to play guitar. So
Right. Yeah. No, we've seen you strum on guitar. Was like learning the piano something your parents were like, oh, you have to do this? Or like, I really want to learn how
yeah,
to do
my mother
this.
got all of us kids into piano, but I was the only one it stuck with.
With it stuck with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to ring the kids through a bunch of stuff. Like, everyone's going to learn how to play piano. Okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to learn how to be on a swim
Yeah.
team. Okay, you can do that. Everyone's going to learn how to cook.
You gotta
can do
figure out
spaghetti
where
nights.
everybody goes, but everybody's got to try everything.
Yeah.
Just in case.
We only have one car. We're all getting in the car. We're going to piano lessons.
Yeah.
We're making one stop.
Well,
We're not going to
thank
3 practices.
God, they took you. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And then when did and then you started doing, because you do like all your sampling like through the drum pad whenever you're like performing as well.
I learned that in 2018.
Wow, so that was another new one.
And that's the one where everybody asks me, when did you like learn to play drums? When did you how do you do that SPDSX stuff? And they're like, I want to do that in my live set. I feel like that's like such a DM I get a lot. And I'm like, I
Oh,
practiced.
everyone's asking about that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I practiced every day for 3 months. Every day.
What's hard? Is it hard, like, staying in tune and then singing? Is that kind of difficult? Or, like, what's the hardest part about learning how to do that? Because,
The drumming,
well, like, yeah, like when you're doing the...
Staying
I don't know
on
the names of
time.
anything. Yeah, staying on time. Yeah, so your time is the hardest part. Yeah.
Staying on time, especially when they're, it's like, and also having good enough ears and like sound in your in-ear monitoring that you can hear like what the samples are, because it's not like when you're playing a drum kit, like you can hear the snare because it's right there.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to make sure you have like enough audio that you can hear what you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But and figuring out what rhythms, like, because like it's always just like little ditties, you know, like not always doing the same rhythms each time.
When do you find you come up with your best ditty? Is it in the shower, making breakfast, right before
No,
you go
it's
to bed?
in the studio.
In the studio, your
Always,
that's
yeah.
where the ditty work happens.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
And my studio's in my house, so.
Oh, so it's always happening.
Yeah, it's
That's
always
what you need.
happening.
So that for you kids at home, get a studio at home. Just make a little studio and then start making beats.
Yeah, I was too broke to have a studio for a while, so I literally had like this roommate living in the room, but like kind of not really living in the room. He was just like crashing there. And then I like would be like, I need you to get out of the room because I need to like,
I need to focus. Yeah.
and I would just like, I slowly bought enough gear to have like an actual studio.
Piece by piece. It
And
took
it-
a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I had like really crappy monitors originally, and like I had like one synth, and I just like kept investing. And then now, like, because I post so many reels and loops and performance things, now I'm like so lucky that I get to partner with a lot of these companies. So now when I actually am making money, they give it to me for free.
Yeah.
Which is well deserved. You work super hard and you deserve that free
Thank
ish
you.
for reals.
Oh yeah, and speaking of making these beats and having that at home and stuff, you've found this audience on TikTok with not only performing parts of your clips, but then also like when you're breaking down like the structure of building your loops and stuff, like how important is it for you to not only kind of show the meat and potatoes of like how you make your music, but then also like I know being for non-binary representation, like for other people see producers that are not just men making beats and how they make those beats, like is that pretty important to you?
Yeah, it's very important to me, especially because like, I think we all battle a lot of people who aren't used to seeing themselves in what they're trying to do in their dreams. We battle imposter syndrome. So like, especially when I just had like a room in my house with like shitty monitors and like, I'm not a real producer. Like my shit sounds like crap. And then now it's like, I can have like the best monitors or I can have like great synths I'm working off of, but I still sometimes think my shit sounds like crap. So it kind of like, the motivation came from like, forget this like super elitist club where the same like 15 producers get all the work. Like let's like, I don't know, this makes me feel better. Like, and then when there was like such a, I don't know, attention that went to those tutorials, I like was like, wow, there's a lot of people who feel like me out there. So it made me feel less alone, I guess.
It's really good. You're giving people a voice and like, hey, you can do this. Doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, you can do it, and encourage them too, because you're right. Nobody wants to let go of the power, right? Like, and then you have to, and you have
And
to
it's
stand
hard.
out there. Yeah.
And I honestly have been producing music every single day since 2018.
You live and breathe this stuff.
I have trouble going on vacation because I like can't detach long enough. Like I actually feel like I need to like, it's like producing music is like one of my best like mood moderators. It's like my beta blocker kind of like like mood stabilizer. But I feel like that amount of practice producing and stuff, like it's very, for people who are just getting into it, like everything they don't know is extremely intimidating. So like some of the shortcuts I find, like that's what I tend to teach people, like
and share that
vocal
knowledge,
chains.
so you're going to help people along the road, which is so awesome. You're helping people left and right. And that's good. It feels good to do it. But we are, speaking of helping people out, we messed up over here at the Breaking Waves pod. We got to get you out of here. We got another guest coming in. We're too popular.
Oh,
But
man.
all this means, though, people, we're going to have you back. We have to, okay? Promise
part
you can
two.
Part, yes.
Oh yeah, there will
Mixtape podcast 2,
yeah,
baby.
podcast part 2 mixtape. We'll see
Number
what
3,
number it is up to that point.
17, but I'm never dropping number 1.
Never.
Yeah.
Unless you find
We're
it.
gonna find it. We're
Yeah.
gonna go on a journey.
In a deep, dark cave.
Into my hard drives.
It's in the hard drive. It's in the cloud.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my God, I just had such a light bulb moment though. Like,
Tell.
when you're asking me how I come up with concepts and stuff, I'm like, well, I'm living it in real time. Holy fuck. Take a trip through my hard drives and you'll like literally
little
see
journey.
The whole
You could
journey.
do like a digital diary or something of like just
Wow.
hard
Oh,
drive
that's a
stuff.
feature film. Okay, we're gonna scrub this as well. Sorry,
scrub it all.
Scrub it all. Scrub the whole thing. Burn the tape. Okay.
Seriously.
We're
Thank
just going
you.
straight into a brainstorm meeting
Yeah.
now. Screw the rest of this episode.
Screw everybody. Screw everything. We got new ideas. Well,
But
thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having
This has
me.
been a ball.
yeah, where can the people find you on the socials and see all the things you're working on?
Yeah, I'm Bianco, so it's BIIANCO. I'm on pretty much everything that you listen to music on, and pretty much every social media platform except Snapchat.
And check out the website.
Yeah.
The website's awesome. It's
Bianco.com
fun,
if you want to play some video games and get your tarot
It's so
cards read.
fun.
Play some games, got new music coming out, new videos. We love it. We love it so much. We have new episodes of this podcast every Wednesday.
Look at
So
that.
make sure you are following on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're listening to the audio versions, rate us 5 stars, write a little review. We'd appreciate that as well.
5 stars. 5 stars, yes. Yeah,
Type
I'm
in
whispering
exactly
into
that.
your ears so you do it. And IKEA, we're still waiting on our check for having your furniture
Yeah,
on set.
we don't want to let go of the new dig.
I don't know if
so,
did they mail it. We'll get back to you on that. But anyways, Music Man Dan here. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _daddydisco.
Woo!
And yeah, stay
right.
wavy, y'all.
Bye bye.